So welcome students. Let us look at the Descartes rule of signs. So this rule says that a polynomial equation f of x is equal to 0 with real coefficients cannot have more positive roots than the number of changes of sign in f of x is equal to 0. A polynomial equation f of x with real coefficients cannot have more positive roots than the number of changes of sign in f of x is equal to 0. That is, if you have 3 sign changes in f of x is equal to 0, the polynomial equation f of x is equal to 0 cannot have more than 3 positive roots. And the second statement is that the polynomial equation with real coefficients cannot have more negative roots than the number of changes of sign in f of minus x is equal to 0. So these two statements combinedly form the Descartes rule of signs. So a polynomial equation f of x is equal to 0 with real coefficients cannot have more positive roots than the number of changes of sign in f of x is equal to 0. And they cannot have more negative roots than the number of changes of sign in f of minus x is equal to 0. So let us first see what change of sign means. So what is meant by change of sign? So if you write f of x, if you write the real polynomial f of x in the increasing order of the powers of x or decreasing order of powers of x, that is, you need to write in one specific order. If you write f of x in increasing order of powers of x, if the sign of coefficients change from plus to minus or minus to plus, then we say that a change of sign has occurred. A change of sign has occurred. So if f of x is written in increasing powers of x, if the sign of coefficients change from plus to minus or minus to plus, then we say that a change of sign has happened. For example, if you have 2x cube plus x minus x square minus 3 is equal to 0. So if this is my f of x, first what I do is I'll arrange this equation in increasing powers of x or decreasing powers of x. That is 2x cube minus x square plus x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now let us write the signs of the coefficients. That is, the first coefficient is positive, the second coefficient is negative, the third coefficient is positive, the fourth coefficient is negative. Now start from the first sign. So plus has changed to minus. You have one change of sign. The minus has again changed to plus. You have the second change of sign. The plus has again converted to minus. You have the third change of sign. So you have 3 changes of sign in this polynomial. You have 3 changes of sign in this polynomial. So if you have 2x cube plus x square minus x minus 3 is equal to 0. So here the signs of the coefficients are plus, plus and minus, minus. Now how many changes of sign are there in this equation? So plus to plus, there is no change of sign. Plus to minus, there is one change of sign. Minus to minus, there is no change of sign. So there is a total of one change of sign. That means, according to Descartes' rule, this equation cannot have more than one positive root. This equation cannot have more than one positive root. The polynomial cannot have more positive roots than the number of changes of sign in f of x is equal to 0. So if you see the second statement, a polynomial equation cannot have more negative roots than the number of changes of sign in f of minus x is equal to 0. So if this is f of x is equal to 0, what is f of minus x? You just need to put minus x in the place of x. So if you put minus x in the place of x, you get minus 2x cube plus minus x whole square is x square. Minus of minus x is plus x. Minus 3 is equal to 0. So what are the signs of the coefficients? Minus, plus, plus, minus. Minus, plus, plus, minus. So you have one change of sign here, no change of sign, another change of sign. So you have a total of two changes of sign. That means this equation 2x cube plus x square minus x minus 3 cannot have more than two negative roots. That means all the roots of this equation cannot be negative. And this can have at most one positive root and at most two negative roots. So this is what Descartes' rule of signs say.